Welcome to Plot Twist, your place for quick summaries of movies with jaw-dropping twists. Let's dive in. Our movie began with the girl Ruby at school, where she saw her friend trembling, behaving strangely, her eyes changing, and then she died. News spread about a dangerous disease affecting children, killing many of them. Authorities urged people to report any strange symptoms in young kids. The media interviewed a man named Gary, whose son Clancy also contracted the disease. They tried to treat him, and his condition began to stabilize gradually. Meanwhile, we see Ruby celebrating her birthday with her parents. Her mother gave her a necklace as a gift. That night, Ruby slept beside her parents. While they were asleep, she touched her mother and her eyes turned orange, allowing her to see her mother's memories. Frightened, she moved away from them. In the morning, Ruby approached her mother in the kitchen, but her mother acted strangely, asking who she was and how she entered the house. Ruby tried to show her the necklace her mother had given her the previous night and told her she was her daughter. However, her mother continued behaving oddly, locked her in a room, and called the police. Authorities arrived and took Ruby along with many other children to a camp. When they arrived, one of the children tried to escape. A female officer tried to stop him, but he controlled her mind, causing her to shoot herself. She died, and the officers became angry, beating the boy and classifying him as orange. The children were divided into groups based on the colors of their abilities. Ruby was taken to a doctor who examined her. He explained the meaning of each color: green for highly intelligent children, blue for those who can move objects with their minds, gold for those who control electricity, red for those who manipulate fire, and orange for those who control minds. The doctor discovered Ruby was orange, the most dangerous category. Ruby realized he intended to kill her, so she controlled his mind, forcing him to change her classification to green. She was placed among the green group, while the red and orange children were eliminated. 6 years passed with Ruby and others imprisoned in the camp. An officer suspected Ruby because of her inability to tie her shoelaces, which contradicted her supposed intelligence as a green. Her friend tried to defend her, but the officer became angry. They conducted a test involving high-frequency sound waves. Ruby couldn't handle the sound and fainted. When she woke up in the hospital, she found her doctor, who reassured her but secretly left her a note revealing Ruby's true orange classification and a key to escape. Terrified, Ruby followed the instructions, escaping to meet the doctor. The alarm sounded as Ruby and the doctor fled in a car. At the gate, the guard became suspicious, but Ruby controlled his mind, making him open the gate. She fainted again and woke up on the road with the doctor, feeling relieved to see the world outside after 6 years. The doctor gave her a tracking necklace, instructing her to press it if she ever felt in danger. They reached a man working with the doctor's organization, which helped children escape government control. Ruby sensed something off about him and realized he mistreated children. She changed her clothes at a station and prepared to leave. She later met Liam, Chubbs, and Zoo, who were also escapees. Liam belonged to the blue group, Chubbs to the green, and Zoo to the gold. Ruby lied, claiming she was green. They were pursued by bounty hunters looking to capture mutated children for money. Ruby and her group managed to escape after a confrontation, with Liam using his powers to block the road. Ruby initially wanted to leave the group, but decided to join them after Liam convinced her. They aimed to reach the East River, a safe haven for children like them. Along the way, Liam revealed he was once part of the same organization as the doctor, but left because they used their powers against the government. Back at the camp, the officer punished the doctor for Ruby's misclassification by having him killed by a giant. A bounty was announced for Ruby's capture. Meanwhile, Ruby and her group stopped at an abandoned house to rest. Ruby reflected on how she erased her mother's memories and struggled to control her powers, feeling deeply sad. The group bonded, and Zoo gave Ruby a red outfit, which she wore. The next morning, Ruby used her powers to control 2 people who were watching them, allowing the group to escape unnoticed. Liam questioned her actions, but she denied knowing anything. They later stopped at a mall-like place to gather supplies. There is no one, and it seems they left it and started wandering there, eating, and then they closed it and caused problems repeatedly. They kept talking about the camp located in the Eastern River, which is a secret camp. Its leader was one of the mutants and managed to help a group of kids escape to him, but no one knew its location. Rubish was the one who claimed to know its location, and by accident, he revealed the place of the camp. However, he didn't tell them everything, except for 3 letters, A-D-O. Chips tried to figure out what these letters meant, but couldn't. I tried to understand what these letters were, but I couldn't reach my father. I told him Dad was an investigator, and these letters are likely frequencies. They began searching for each letter and its numerical value. A is 5, D is 4, and O is 0. They entered the frequency into the radio and found broadcasts indicating the location of the camp. At that moment, they set out to go there. But first, they passed by Ruby's house to say goodbye to her parents for the last time. She stood at the door, emotional, unable to go inside because they didn't recognize her. Later, agents came out and attacked them all, tying them up. However, Ruby managed to regain control of her mind and told her to apologize to her friends, throw away her weapon, and walk into the forest without stopping. It was then that they realized Ruby had lied to them about her classification. Ruby felt that they didn't want her with them and said, "Fine, I'll leave you and go." But Chips told her that for a long time, he knew she couldn't be part of the green group because she wasn't smart. They kept her with them because she wasn't a threat and because she defended them. Ruby was deeply affected and asked for their forgiveness. Liam, who had started to admire her, her, suggested they continue their journey on foot until they encountered some kids wearing military uniforms and carrying weapons. Liam recognized them as they were with him in the old camp and took them to the Eastern River camp. There, they found many kids like them, living happily. They were taken to the leader, Clancy, the son of the president. He immediately praised Liam for escaping with his friends and reaching this place. He told Ruby that he was orange like her, and they were the only two left in this color. That night, they held a party, and Ruby danced with Liam. The next day passed peacefully. Clancy began assigning tasks to them and told Ruby her task was to stay with him. When she was alone with him, she saw moments when the doctors experimented on him extensively to find a cure but failed. His father lied to people, claiming they had found the cure. In the end, he managed to escape and establish this camp so that the kids could live in safety. He told her he would teach her to control her power without harming anyone. He started training her, and she quickly learned. He asked her why she always seemed scared. She let him see her memories, and he discovered that she had accidentally erased herself from her parents' memory. He comforted her and told her everything would be okay. When she went to Liam, she found him upset because she was too busy for him. She searched for him, but only found Chips, who was also upset because he wanted a device to contact his parents and reassure them. Ruby went to Clancy to ask him to give the device to Chips. He agreed, but told her he had one condition: teach me how to erase memories from people. But Ruby didn't know how, as it had happened when she was still young. She tried to get closer to him, but he scared her, and she ran out crying. Liam saw her and asked her what was wrong. She told him everything. He realized Clancy was dangerous and decided they should escape from the camp again. While they were escaping, they were confronted by a group of soldiers. Liam tried to fend them off, but Clancy managed to control him. That's when they realized Clancy was working with the army, controlling his father and doing whatever he wanted in the government. His goal was to build a large army of mutants to protect himself. Ruby used her power and made the army leader kill himself. The group managed to escape. Suddenly, a group of kids from the Red Group, who controlled fire, appeared and set everything on fire. At the last moment, Liam broke free from Clancy's control and saved his friends. When they tried to escape, Ruby told them, "Let me go back to Clancy and I'll stop him." She went and managed to control half of his army. When she confronted him with them, she took control of those with him and ordered them to fight him until they all killed each other. It was down to Ruby and Clancy. When he tried to erase her memory, she managed to pull down a passing plane, crashing it on him. Before it exploded, Chips came and dragged her out, but he got injured. Ruby felt guilty and decided to activate the tracking device Kit had given her. Liam came to her and told her to escape before Kit arrived, but he refused to leave her, saying, "I love you and won't leave you." Shortly after, Kit arrived with people from the organization. Ruby fainted and they took them. When Ruby woke up, Kit and a man reassured her, telling her that Chips was being treated in the hospital. When she asked about Liam, Kit told her he had escaped from the organization and asked her to join them. Ruby agreed, but on one condition: that she would meet Liam again. Kit agreed and told her to go see him. Ruby told Liam to leave and live a better life, but he refused, saying he wanted to stay with her and start a family. Ruby decided to sacrifice and erased herself from his memory. When he woke up, he found Kit and Ruby in front of him, but didn't recognize her. Kit gave him his bag. Even though he didn't remember, he felt he didn't want to leave. Ruby insisted he go before they changed their minds. He listened to her and left. She watched him leave, crying. At that moment, we see Clancy, who was still alive. He had rebuilt his army, gathering a group of superhumans. They were engaged in a war against each other, and that's where the movie ends. I hope you enjoyed the summary. Don't forget to check out the previous summaries, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell. Watch the upcoming highlights. See you in the next video.